Huh. New dinosaur movie. It's not part of the Jurassic Park franchise and it's supposed to be as scientifically accurate as possible. I gotta miss this. I gotta go to watch. It's gonna be amazing. That was the worst movie I've ever watched. Hollywood doesn't understand dinosaurs. And science in general. The movie 65 was said by the directors to be as scientifically accurate as possible and up to date as possible, and they were tirelessly working with scientists to make it as amazing as they can. What a massive lie.
A bullshit? A bullshit?
The film is far from accurate, and to call it a film is a massive stretch. But that's what we're covering in today's video. Hi everyone, my name is Joe Cook, and welcome to Paleo Problems 65. Alright, so for those who don't know, let's do a basic synopsis of this film, 65. Adam Driver plays an alien whose planet is dying, and he has to find a new planet for his species to inhabit it and goes on a mission to outer space. He unfortunately crash lands on Earth 65 million years ago in the late Cretaceous, and him and a little girl have to survive
dinosaur
and also get off the planet before the asteroid impacts Earth. And there's already a bunch of mistakes right here. One is the time frame. The asteroid did not strike 65 million years ago, rather 66 million years ago. But this probably came from it being an older number that's more recognized by the general audience. And also, the asteroid did not strike North America like it does in the film. It struck in the Yucatan Peninsula, thousands of miles away. But this is far from some of the worst errors of this film. The worst errors primarily come from designs of the animals, because they are downright horrendous and honestly look like AI slop. We're going to break this up into pretty much two main categories. One being the questionable, and then the general. The questionable is going to cover the animals that honestly are either just so horrible that we can't really decide what they look like or what they really are, and just bunch of names are thrown out for them.
Oh my god! What is that?
And then just the general, where we'll probably go from best to worst looking at the creature designs in the films. And each animal I will give a little ranking on, whether it's good, whether it's bad, or downright trash. Let's start out with the question. The unknown category. So, in this movie there's many animals that honestly the designs are so trash that you can't really tell what they are. That they might be this or they might be that. Or just they weren't really said what they were supposed to be. So, we're just gonna look at them. One of the designs is some aquatic serpent that passes Adam Driver in the swamp. It just popped out of the water for half a second and that's the entire design. So, no clue what it is, have no idea what the design is, so unknown ranking, can't even tell you what it looks like. Another one is what some videos said was an Atrociraptor attacking Adam, what some videos called Velociraptor, what some called a Troodontid, what called just a general dromaeosaur. I don't know. We're gonna call it just a general dromaeosaur, and even then, the design is not good. One, it is lacking any feathers. If it's a dromaeosaur, it should be covered in feathers. Two, its wrists are pronated like this, which dinosaurs could not do. For them to do that, they would have to break the wrist. Dinosaurs held their hands inwards. And lastly, it is just butt ugly, the thing. It's incredibly skin wrapped. Its skull looks way too short and boxy for a dromaeosaur species. It just all around just doesn't look good. Trash design. And then there's two animals that appear, which I don't know what they are. Some people have said it's a Lagosuchus. Some try to claim it's a Dinosuchus. Some claim it's some general Rhysuchian. But then again, it looks like none of these. Oh, and also apparently a Northosaurus too. But it looks like none of these. It's just some skinny, scary reptile looking thing. trash. It looks like nothing. I can't even give it a species name because it looks like nothing. I guess the closest is maybe a Lagosuchus. It shouldn't be here. That's a Triassic age reptile, and also not a dinosaur, but whatever. Again, just looks terrible. And then there's some bones here and there, which can't really give rankings on bones because they're just bones. Except actually there's a Tyrannosaurus skull that pops up later in the film that honestly doesn't look that great, but whatever. And that's pretty much all the unknowns. So let's go into what are the general. We're gonna go and cover the couple okay ones first, and then the horrible ones. Spoiler, the good list is not very long. You have the woolly mammoth in the good list. You see later in the time lapse, in the Frozen, it looks like a woolly mammoth. We get a quick cameo from Quetzalcoatlus. At one point in the movie, it flies across the camera. Can't really comment on his design because we don't really see his design. But from a little bit you see, it seems alright. They should have gave it more screen time, as it actually belongs when and where the movie takes place alongside Tyrannosaurus. So don't know why they limited it to just a cameo, but whatever. And lastly, for the good category is Conceptnathus. It looks okay. I mean, it's ugly looking and it's definitely not a great design, but I guess it's fine. It's okay. But that wraps up the good category. Now it's going to go to straight buns. So prepare yourselves. The Oviraptor. Sizing is alright. It doesn't belong in North America. It should be in the Gobi Desert, but we're not really talking about that. It has no feathers. It's completely naked, and that already makes it just look horrible. But even worse is that it has teeth in its beak for some reason. Did some designers look at like geese teeth and like, oh, well, I guess it had teeth too? Why? It makes it look goofy, honestly. It's so dumb looking. Why? Also, the Jacopil. This originally was supposed to be in the movie. Originally, they're supposed to save Allosaurus in the film. Permian age reptile, but whatever. But it did very poor in test audiences, and they changed it to a more theropod dinosaur. This isn't a Jacopil. It's what they call it, but it looks nothing like one. Jacopil was much smaller, much more proportions, and this is just a really weird baby anthropomorphic T-Rex that has Ankylosaurus tail and armor on it. God, the thing is stupid and should be burned with fire. It's horrible. Shungarocteryx. I would have let this one slide. I would have put it actually in the good category. Because it's not appealing. The thing honestly kind of sucks, but you know what? It's not. There's definitely worse designs. If it wasn't for the eye placement making it look like a Cyclops, they put it in the wrong fenestra. The fenestras, or fenestrae, are the holes in the skull. They put it in the wrong one, and it just makes it look so bad. They were so close on okay designs, but this movie tried to make bad designs. Just before I look at some more, I'm gonna look at a book that has actual good prehistoric animal depictions. Just beautiful. So much better. Thank you. All right. We have two left. Tyrannosaurus Rex. This thing just looks weird. Why does it have osteoderms and spikes all over it? I should have covered that on every other animal in this film because they all have those too for some reason. But one, it's weirdly skinny. T-Rex should have been made thicker. T-Rex is a very thick theropod from what we know. Its skull is a really odd shape. We see a Tyrannosaurus Rex skull, and then the Tyrannosaurus Rex living skull looks way different than just the skull by itself. The shape a bunch of other animals, like I previously said, the dinosaur, have more boxy, rounded skulls. Why they didn't give T-Rex that design choice? Don't know why. It looks goofy. It's also missing lips, which we now know is incorrect. Honestly, it looks like a really chopped up version of the V-Rex from King Kong. I don't know if anybody else sees that. But Jesus, this thing is just stupid looking. I honestly hate it. Ugh. And the last animal we see in the film. The giant quadrupedal dinosaur thing that was, the directors called a T-Rex, but the fans call Facilosuchus. If it was a T-Rex, I'm not even commenting on it, because this thing looks nothing like a T-Rex, and it walks on 4 legs. Absolutely disgusting. But as a Facilosuchus, it also makes no sense. Facilosuchus was a Rhizosuchian that got up to about 10 meters long, 30 feet, and about 3 tons. This thing is way bigger than that. It's honestly absolutely massive. Also, it has none of the proportions or looks of a Rhizosuchian. It just looks like some weird Indoraptor Scorpius Rex thing that they just threw into an AI generator and pooped this thing out. Jesus, design sucks. God, this movie designs suck. They're horrible. Ugh. And I know there's a parasite that was in the girl's mouth at one point, but whatever, the thing's stupid. And there's like other things, bones, that could be really anything. They also cut a lot of out from the film. Supposedly, the Facilosuchus at the end was meant to be a Triceratops, but got changed. Which they didn't. I feel that would have been more interesting, but honestly, they probably would have destroyed that too. Apparently, there's also supposed to be an Ankylosaurus in the film. Who knows? And even looking at some of the concept arts, they just looked doomed from the start, but at least looked kind of nicer. And why were these films designed so bad? Well, they didn't actually consult paleontologists. They consulted creature designers. And that's what they all are in the film. They're Hollywood monsters. They're creatures. It might get comments saying, "Why are you so mad? It's just a film." Remember my opening bit. The film director said that they were going to consult paleontologists and make the dinosaurs films as accurate and as up-to-date as possible. And Jesus Christ, not a single one is. Let me give my opinion now. On to my opinion. With very little shock, this movie sucks scientifically. Nothing's remotely accurate. Nothing makes sense. Even from just a design element, a lot of these animal designs just look terrible. Nothing looks good in this film. Whether you look at it scientifically or even from an enjoyment standard. All garbage. Arguably, probably the worst dinosaur film to ever exist. That being said, that was Paleo Problems 65. If there's other movies you'd want me to look at, let me know in the comments. Maybe I can look at some more famous ones, like the Jurassic Park franchise. Definitely would appreciate if you throw this video a like, share, and subscribe. And if you do, hit the notification bell. That way, you get notified anytime I update. With that being said, see ya.